The summit of the Lake Chad Basin Commission opens tomorrow in Abuja, Nigeria, with member countries to re-strategize on how to confront prevailing challenges on the wake of the demise of President Idriss Deby Itno. Healthcare delivery in Cameroon goes high-tech as hospitals are now embracing computer and digital platforms in their routine operations in what specialists called medical informatics. Home-based supporters of Coton Sport of Garoua exalt their club as it picks a ticket for the semis of the CAF Cup competition, charming supporters and non-supporters alike with their play style and club organization. Those are our lead stories. Hello and thanks for joining us. I am Ben Menopufon and this is the 7:30 News.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
You're welcome once again, and we open with this press release coming in from the Civil Cabinet of the Presidency of the Republic, and it reads, the head of state has designated Mr. Ferdinand Ngongo, Minister of State, Secretary General of the Presidency of the Republic, to represent him at the extraordinary summit of heads of state and government of the Lake Chad Basin Commission, scheduled to take place in Abuja, Nigeria, on the 25th of May, 2021. And that press release has been signed Samuel Mvondo Ayolo, Minister, Director of the Civil Cabinet. And so water and tourism will be at the heart of the extraordinary session of the Lake Chad Basin Commission, the LCBC, that opens tomorrow in Abuja, Nigeria. The 8 member states of Africa's oldest basin commission will converge around Nigeria's leader Muhammadu Buhari to examine ways of reviving the activities and addressing some pressing challenges facing them, especially with the demise of Chadian leader Idriss Deby Itno. Ahead of this important summit, Bobana Fonkamuta weighs the challenges of the LCBC in the following analysis.
Hydropolitics and terrorism will inevitably feature prominently in Abuja as the 8 member states of the Lake Chad Basin Commission meet in an extraordinary session. Created on May 22, 1964, to promote the shared management and exploitation of Lake Chad and other water resources in the area, the LCBC has struggled to fulfill its mandate. This situation has been compounded over the last decade by insecurity, fueled by the activities of the terrorist insurgent movement, Boko Haram. Porous borders, fragile security systems in the region led to the rise of smuggling and the flourish of banditry. Security inevitably grew in prominence on the agenda of the Commission. First, a joint security force based in Bagakawa in Nigeria was established in 1994. Then, in 1998, it was expanded to include all member states. Responding to Boko Haram's surge in 2012, it became the Multinational Joint Task Force. If insecurity has often distracted the Commission from its core mandate, which is water management, truth be told, Lake Chad remains a vital source of water to about 10 million persons dotted in 4 countries who live on agriculture, livestock, and fisheries. It is within the context of the recent demise of the former Chadian leader, growing humanitarian needs, and the unstoppable effects of climate change that the Commission's chairperson, Nigeria's Muhammadu Buhari, and his peers meet, fully aware that time is not on their side. The lake needs to be replenished.
And the lake needs to be replenished, just like the population living around it. And the International Committee of the Red Cross Movement has extended a hand of fellowship and compassion to the population of part of the far north region of Cameroon affected by ongoing crisis in the Lake Chad Basin area. In a week-long health outreach to some landlocked areas in the Logon and Shari division of that part of the country, the humanitarian body made a substantial donation of medications to health facilities in the area. Patrick Tabo reports from Kuseri.
The International Committee of the Red Cross has been providing free medications in the Logon and Shari division to the populations affected by the security crisis in the Lake Chad Basin following the Boko Haram insurgency.
We are supporting health centers in Nguma, and we saw from there about 40% of people going there for consultation are coming from Ile Alifa. That is why we decided it's better to go near to the population which is suffering. This is the reason why we are supporting Ile Alifa health centers today.
Apart from rehabilitating the border health facilities and the donation of medications that are given to patients free of charge, the Red Cross movement has also constructed boreholes, solar panels and standby generators to ensure the effective functioning of the health facility.
Let's move away now from the Lake Chad Basin and talk about other things in the news. The leakage of administrative and confidential documents in Cameroon is on the rise, an activity which can lead to the destabilization of state institutions. The latest is the report of the audit bench of the Supreme Court on the management of COVID-19 funds in Cameroon that is rather trending on social media space. On our talk of the day tonight, BrigadeAntiSardinard met legal crime experts and political scientists to talk about the sanctions and consequences of disseminating classified documents and information. Kilian?
Several reasons account for increasing leakage of secret administrative and confidential documents.
This tendency has increased because of impunity. The first thing is that the government strategies have not been able to sanction in exemplary manners those who have been able to do this. But I think that the idea of these leakages is simply to destabilize the political institution.
To some people, in the latest case is an incitement for action directly linked to COVID-19 funds.
The issue of the COVID is one of them, very clear. Do we want the ministers who are guilty to be punished? We see a whole chain of the ministerial departments. Who is there who started spreading this idea of a leakage?
The Penal Code punishes culprits of leaked official documents.
We have section 188, 189 and 198 of Cameroon Penal Code.
Section 198 of the Penal Code is more severe and includes those who simply forward the documents.
Can punish from 10,000 to 6 million anyone that can be in touch of an administrative document and publish it without any authorization.
Reserve and professional secret are watchwords in handling all official documents.
The maiden edition of the Douala Economic Forum is underway in the nation's economic capital, with participants evaluating the city's potential in the transport sector, land acquisition, and the ongoing decentralization process. The reflections are centered on how these sectors can spur economic development and make Douala a trusted economic hub in the Central African sub-region. Dixon Ashu is in Douala.
Douala manages over 32% of the country's raw material and harbors 12% of its active population. It holds 60% of the country's public investment budget and 40% at the level of the CEMAC sub-region. The country envisages to attain a 2% economic growth rate by 2025, and this maiden Douala Economic Forum is indicating that the transport sector, urban development, and the proper application of decentralization are areas of concern if this objective should be attained.
There's need for people in all sorts of fields of work, from civil and structural engineers, of which we have quite a number that are very well trained.
For economic operators represented individually or as workers' trade union in the forum, there is need for more collaboration amongst them.
It is important for economic operators to meet as such to discuss the fate of our economy. The subjects of discussion in this forum are intriguing.
Participants of the three-day Made in Douala Economic Forum will also touch sectors like ICT, social conviviality and environmental impact of economic activities, and will also be looking forward to the respect and full application of resolutions at the end of the forum.
The merger of the Economic Community of Central African States, ECAS, and the Economic and Monetary Community of Central Africa, CEMAC, the fusion of the two is reaching another level, and the fusion of the two sub-regional economic bodies, according to experts, will curb the dispersion of resources and facilitate the harmonization of development policies in the sub-region. Experts from the 11 member states that make up the two sub-regional entities are leading reflections on the imminent merger in Yaoundé, as Caroline Okia-Noma now reports.
Remaining draft text of the new Regional Economic Community of Central Africa is what over 73 experts from all the 11 member states of CEMAC and ECAS have started reviewing via video conference.
After we finish this work, we will have to put it on the table of the ministers. Afterward, they will put it on the table of the head of state under the chairmanship of His Excellency Paul Biya, who is the dedicated president of the rationalization process.
For the next 5 days, the experts will be reviewing and validating the draft text.
We are examining the draft project of the creation of the parliament of the next community, the draft project of the Court of Justice and Human Rights, the draft project of the High Authority of Monetary Markets, the draft project of the Accountancy Court, and the draft project of the High Authority of the money of Central Africa.
With the African Continental Free Trade Zone operational, a stronger and unified Central Africa region is a must-have.
We will be stronger because we are now more integrated, more competitive.
The fusion of CEMAC and ECAS is therefore what will become the new Regional Economic Community of Central Africa.
Let's now open our series of the week that has to do with the observance of traffic signs in the country. And it has been observed that the most road users do not respect traffic signs and zebra crossing points, most especially the people in these urban cities. That's why officials of roads and traffic divisions of the Central Regional Delegation of Transport are on the field to sensitize road users to the need to scrupulously respect traffic signs, especially during rush hours. Gerald Nanje Yambe went observing the attitude of pedestrians and drivers at zebra crossing points in the capital city and says it was a total cacophony.
Elements of the Public Roads and Traffic Division sensitizing and directing users on how to respect the zebra crossing.
We have observed that most drivers don't respect these zebra crossings. Pedestrians too prefer crossing elsewhere than using the right path.
These are roads where we don't have the zebra crossings nor the traffic lights, and this makes things difficult for users.
The anarchical use of the highway, especially during rush hour, often leads to disorder.
Due to the non-respect of these highway signs, we register a lot of accidents on a daily basis.
And so, to be forewarned is to be forearmed.
Defaulters will be sanctioned with the fee of 25,000 CFA francs. I call on drivers to respect the normal speed and observe the highway code.
Such recommendations should be taken seriously, especially as the nation braces up to host Africa in the January Soccer Showpiece.
A 3-week training workshop for audiovisual professionals has gone underway in Yaoundé today at the Training and Conservation Institute of Audiovisual Heritage of the Cameroon Radio Television at the Kunu. The session, attended by animators, technicians of community radio stations, is organized by the CRTV in partnership with UNESCO with representatives from Central Africa. Ewane Pole tells us more.
In its move to modernize training at the CRTV Audiovisual Training Institute, Fcfa, the management of CRTV is working in partnership with UNESCO.
With the government of the Cameroon on community radios, the institute and the CRTV are our main partner to ensure the technical part and the content part of the training for technicians and for also animators and journalists.
While launching the training sessions, the Director Delegate of Fcfa, Francois-Marc Mojam, underlined the importance of the partnership expected to assist Fcfa maintain its leading position in audiovisual training professions in the Central African sub-region.
Those taking parts come all the way from the Republic of Chad, community radio stations across the country. Fcpa is on the verge of attracting the international community following the quality of its lectures.
On the sidelines of the activities, COVID-19 screening tests is being organized for students and teachers to curb the spread of the disease in the campus.
And as I was announcing in the headlines, Cameroon is undergoing a technological mutation, and the health sector, particularly hospitals, are not being left out of the trend. The computerization of health services, otherwise known as medical informatics, is fast becoming the new way to go, as administrative, financial and clinical information of patients are now being done through a system of interconnected computer networks. Our reporter, Rayanatu Sali, went finding out how this high-tech mutation plays out on the ground and reports that they are being facilitated and accompanied by the development of health applications. Rayanatu?
From his office, he consults the administrative, financial and clinical information of the thousands of patients at the Yaoundé Referral Hospital. This thanks to health informatics.
Informatics is a way of doing medicine. So medical informatics means that all the data are digital.
Computerizing medical information is the new trend in most hospitals today, as it is judged safer and improves patient record retrieval.
We have a great delay in general if we compare with other sectors like aviation, aeronautic and so on. But in the past 10 years, we try to overcome. With the branch of medical informatics, we associate both sectors together, medicine and informatics.
Health informatics, which also branches into telemedicine, has been facilitated with the development of applications like the EIE COVID Safety Advisor and Mamed.
The EIE COVID Safety Advisor is an application permitting you to do a test of your exposure to the COVID.
It is also thought more accessible and less time consuming.
We can have automatic statistics, do consultations and treatment in line.
Experts say they are exploring technological platforms to help improve healthcare in Cameroon.
Adapting to the facilities that the information and communication technologies are introducing in this sector requires a number of prerequisites that health structures across the country need to catch up with. These prerequisites are not only infrastructural but qualified hospital manpower as well. Beatrice Losamba reports on what it will take hospitals to explore all the possibilities and facilities being brought about by the medical informatics.
From mobile medical apps and software that support health decisions, digital technology has been driving a revolution in healthcare elsewhere on the globe. In Cameroon, dreams of enrolling to this more holistic health option are being nursed.
In the Ministry of Public Health, there is a national virtual health strategy in place, and the ministry is looking into what needs to be done first.
At a wider scope, digital health solutions are not yet at a glance in Cameroon. The country has connectivity and software details to attend to before its takeoff.
Hospital infrastructure needs to change to accommodate this new option. Computers are needed, solid internet network to facilitate things, sustainable energy, trained staff too, as few people have taken interest in this. Huge financing is also needed.
Worth a try, digital health is seen as an option which allows for more accurate diagnosis and treatment of disease. It is set to enhance healthcare delivery, reduces inefficiencies, improves access, increases quality, and makes medicine more personalized for patients.
Despite our efforts, COVID-19 plunged many families into mourning and seriously hampered the functioning of our economy and society.
Health experts have again been reminding Cameroonians of the necessity for them to have themselves vaccinated against COVID-19 as a way to stemming the spread of the pandemic in the country. To facilitate the exercise, vaccination centers have been created all over the national territory, ready to administer the jab to every citizen aged 18 and above. Question: why is the vaccination an imperative, and where exactly should one go to have the jab? Baldwin Sama and his guest, Dr. Andreas Njor, are on standby at the Public Health Emergency Operations Center with answers to that question. Hello, Baldwin.
Good evening to you, Ben Menopufong. It remains a major worry for some Cameroonians, especially those who have not yet had themselves vaccinated, to know exactly where they should go to, wherever they find themselves, if they wish to have themselves vaccinated against the coronavirus. Which are the available vaccination centers? Let's discuss that tonight with Dr. Andreas Njor, the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the National Immunization Program. Good evening to you, Doctor.
Good evening, Baldwin.
Which are these available vaccination centers we have in the country?
Thank you so much. So far, there are more than 230 active vaccination centers for COVID-19 across the country. And worth noting is the fact that in every health district of the country, there is at least one site offering vaccination against COVID-19. So we encourage the population to get close to any health facility within their location, and they will be indicated where they can get a vaccination against COVID-19. So you don't need to go far. Within your health district, there is at least a site. Some health districts have more sites.
In regions where we have high demands, like the center and littoral regions of Cameroon, for example, where do they go to?
Of course, you can go to the lead health facility in each district. At least these ones offer vaccination against COVID. Now, for the bigger health district with a large population density, there are more sites. You may have 2, 3, and some even 4 vaccination sites. The international vaccination centers also across the country are also offering vaccination against COVID-19. So these are all the sites, easy to be noticed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Andreas Njor. The National Immunization Program keeps reminding us, especially those eager to have themselves vaccinated against the coronavirus, of the availability of these different vaccination centers in the 10 different regions of Cameroon. Back to you, Ben Menopufo.
Thank you very much, Baldwin Sama, and your guests, for those vital information. And you're watching the 7:30 news on the Cameroon Radio Television CRTV. We are beaming live from Yaoundé. And onto an obituary note now. Death has again hit Cameroon's National Assembly. The CPDM MP for the Sanaga Maritime constituency, Marinette Ngoyet Nambelek, is no more. The 56-year-old, who doubles as the CPDM section president for Idea Center, died in Douala this morning after an illness. Esther Kmer now reports on the brief stay of the MP in the lawmaking institution, where she was on her first mandate.
An elegant figure and a beautiful soul, Honorable Marinette Ngo-Yetna didn't need a lifetime in Parliament to have her impact felt as the people's representative. In 1 year, she donated didactic material to pupils across the Senegal Maritime Division, supported the teaching staff, and provided personal protective equipment to the regional hospital in Idea to roll back the coronavirus. She championed the first ever edition of the Senegal Maritime Exhibition Forum last April 16 to spur local production.
A woman with a heart of gold. I saw a lot of potentials encouraging young people to produce and consume Cameroon. She wanted Cameroon to emerge. She was fighting for the betterment of this country.
The vice president of the Parliamentary Network for Circular Economy had a vibrant personality.
Very dynamic lady, and to those who met her for the first time would have thought that she's doing second or third or fourth mandate in the National Assembly.
At 56, the CPDM section president for Idea Center quits the scene with unfinished projects on rural electrification and support to women outlined in her manifesto.
Away from death, let's talk about sports now. The Confederation of African Football and FIFA inspection team, currently on mission in Cameroon, is on the third day of its mission and was today assessing work at the 60,000 capacity Olembe Stadium and its annex facilities. The head of the 23-strong delegation, Anthony Bafo, was accompanied by the president of the COCAN 2021 Local Organizing Committee, Narcisse Mwele Kambi. Details with Romeo Nkenye.
The dressing rooms are being equipped. The presidential and VIP lodge and coffee rooms are intact. The commercial center of the sports complex has completely metamorphosed with different stores mapped out. The conference room is now endowed with screens. Visiting the football facility, the CAF delegation head, Anthony Bafwe, is assured come October, the main stadium will be at disposal for nocturnal games. But before then, test matches will be played in August. Both CAF and FIFA emissaries had a view of work progress in Annex A and B stadia. Here, work has advanced on athletic tracks and the playgrounds meet football norms. Over 2,500 parking lots will be made available for fans and spectators. Presently, 800 employees are on duty at the sports complex. Contractors revealed the number will rise to more than 1,000 soonest. One-time CAF president Issa Hayatu was also part of the visit. COCAN president Professor Narcisse Mwele Kambi and CAF legate continued their inspection visit this Tuesday in Bafoussam.
Anthony Bafwe and his team did not just end their outing with visiting the sports infrastructure. They were equally eyeing at the accommodation centers in the nation's capital. And our reporter on their trail is Gilbert Ongene with what they saw and heard in Yaoundé today.
2 four-star hotels in the heart of Yaoundé and 2 others on the outskirts of the capital city welcomed the joint CAF FIFA delegation this Monday. Under the supervision of the head of delegation, Moroccan-born Agnès Fami, and the watchful eyes of FIFA lodging expert Laurent Eds, they at each stop cross-checked with the management team of each structure the checklist of CAF pertaining to lodging. All 4 hotels visited have accommodated officials and teams at the 2020 CHAN competition and are hoping to do even better at the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations.
We are assured because we know that we are always ready, so there is no surprise for us. So even if the competition has to start tomorrow, we'll be ready to offer the best service we can.
It was a great pleasure welcoming the Moroccan team here because they really find in Relax Palace Hotel what they were looking for. I mean, a spacious area, a restaurant with all the different kind of menu they may need. We try to gather what is in town to bring it out here, added with our experience and other more.
From all indications, one can say Cameroon is ready to host guests of AFCON 2021.
Still in sports, the news of Cotonsport's qualification for the semi-finals of the CAF competition has been saluted by Cameroonians across the board, both supporters and non-supporters alike. And as the competition cruises to its final, it is becoming even trickier for the club as questions on the quality of its players and the play style of the team continue to charm even more. Bolden Sama now reports on why Cotonsport has been moving from victory to victory.
They have been quite outstanding this season as series of victories secured both at the national and international scene. Cotonsport of Garoua with an impressive squad is simply exceptional.
Cotonsport has a great reform this year. A number of things have changed in the organization of the team. We know with the coming of Sulumanu Abubakar, he's a coach that needs free hand in order to work. That's something different from their predecessors. And the philosophy of the team has equally changed because some veteran players were liberated to give way for young coming stars.
Quality players have been selected whose outputs have been a plus for Cotonsport of Garoua.
All the players of Cotonsport, the majorities play in the national team, Chan.
Cotonsport stands out tall as a true reference of what professionalism is all about in Cameroon.
The game style of Cotonsport, it's really quite different from what we see in the local championship. The defense is quite solid. They have gone in for experience. Cotonsport is a club that insists in passing through the wings and sending the balls rapidly into the penalty box. So
the wish by all and sundry is to see her lift the trophy of the CAF Confederations Cup this year.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and